Hello and welcome. If you're running a small business here in the UK, you need to know that the way you get government support is about to change. And I mean change in a big way. In this breakdown, which has been put together by the experts over at ProTax Accountant, we're going to get you ready for exactly what's coming down the track in 2026. So let's just dive right in with a really important question. Could your next R&D tax claim, all that money you're counting on, be completely rejected because of one single simple mistake? For so many businesses, the answer is a surprising yes, and we're about to show you exactly why. So what's at the heart of all this? Well, the whole landscape of government support for businesses like yours is shifting under our feet. The old familiar ways of getting funding and tax relief are being replaced. We're talking new schemes, new rules, and new deadlines. And if you're not ready, you could really miss out. To make this all feel a bit more real, let's follow someone on this journey. Meet Priya. She's the founder of a small, really innovative engineering firm in London. And, like a lot of you, she relies on government support to help her company research and grow. We're going to use her story to see how all these changes actually play out in the real world. All right, first up, research and development tax relief. Honestly, this is the biggest shakeup we've seen in this area for at least a decade. For an innovative business like Priya's, getting a handle on these new rules, well, it's not just important, it's absolutely crucial for staying afloat. Now, what's interesting here is how simple this looks, but it's hiding a massive change. So you'll remember we used to have two different schemes, right? The SME scheme for smaller businesses and the RDAC for the big players. Well, as of April 2024, those have been merged into just one single system. The idea was to make things simpler, but what it really does is introduce a whole new dynamic that you've got to understand. And this right here is the most important part of that change. It's called the initiator rule. So here's the deal. Under this new system, the company that gets to claim the R&D tax relief is the one who starts the project. Let's imagine a huge car company hires Priya's firm to design a new part. Even though Priya's team is doing all the clever, innovative work, it was the car company that initiated it. So they're the ones who get to claim the relief now. And here's the pro tip, the real-world consequence of that rule. For a specialist firm or a subcontractor like Priya's, this is a total game changer. If a lot of your innovative work is done for bigger clients, you might not be able to claim tax relief for it anymore. The right to claim has basically moved up the food chain. That means you've got to check every single contract to figure out who actually gets to make that claim. But wait, there's more. And this is where a lot of people are going to get caught out. So let me ask you, are you brand new to claiming R&D relief? Or maybe it's just been a while, say more than 3 years since your last claim. If that's you, then in the eyes of HMRC, you're a new claimant, and there's a brand new rule you have to follow. And this is it. This is the simple mistake from the start. You now have just 6 months. That's it, only 6 months from the end of your accounting period to give HMRC a heads up that you're going to make a claim. If you miss that 6-month window, your entire claim for that year is just gone, invalid. No second chances, no extensions, you just lose the money. It's that critical. Okay, so that's the tax relief side of things. But what about getting funding to grow? Well, the second major shift we're seeing is a move away from those direct cash grants. Instead, government-backed loan guarantees are really taking center stage. And the main program here is the Growth Guarantee Scheme, which is now running until March 2026. Now, this isn't the government handing you cash. It's more like the government acting as a cosigner on a loan. They give a guarantee to the banks, which makes the banks much more likely to say yes to your business. And don't underestimate the scale of this. This scheme and the one before it have already backed over £5.3 billion in finance for small businesses. It's a really clear signal that the government wants to use private lending with a state safety net rather than just handing out grants. So, how does this actually work for someone like Priya? Well, it's a pretty straightforward 3-step process. First, she just applies for a normal business loan with a bank that's part of the scheme. Second, the government steps in and gives the bank a guarantee on that loan. And third, that guarantee gives the bank the confidence it needs to approve the finance. It's all about making the loan less risky for the bank, which unlocks the cash your business needs. Okay, so we've got tax relief for innovation and loans for growth. The third big piece of this puzzle is all about investing in your people, your most important asset. There's a whole new wave of skills and apprenticeship funding that small businesses really need to jump on. So here's a look at what's on offer. But stay with me because this last point is crucial for hiring. For small businesses, and I mean specifically SMEs, apprenticeships for anyone under 25 are now going to be fully funded by the government. Think about that. That means the cost of training new, young talent is basically wiped out.
Let's circle back to Priya. For her engineering firm, this is just a massive opportunity. She can bring in a sharp young apprentice, fresh out of college, and have their entire training paid for. This lets her grow her team and fill any skills gaps without taking a huge financial hit upfront. It's a fantastic way to build her workforce for the future.
Phew. Okay, so we've covered a lot. R&D, loans, and skills. The rules have changed right across the board. So the big question is, what should you actually be doing right now to get your business ready for 2026? Let's boil it all down into a clear action plan. Here are your 4 key takeaways. Number 1, go through your R&D contracts with a fine-tooth comb and figure out who the initiator is. Number 2, find your accounting year-end date. And right now, put that 6-month notification deadline in your calendar with a big red circle around it. 3, if you need financing, start looking into lenders that are part of the Growth Guarantee Scheme. And 4, take a good look at your team and see where a fully funded apprentice could really give you a boost. So here's the bottom line. The support is still there, but it looks different. You can't just assume the old rules apply anymore, because they don't. The businesses that are really going to do well in this new environment are the ones who get ahead of the curve, understand these changes now, and adapt. Okay, and before we wrap up, just a quick official bit. The information we've talked about today is for general guidance. This stuff can get complicated, so please don't use this as the only thing you rely on when making big financial decisions for your business. To really navigate these changes and make sure you come out on top, you've got to talk to the experts. So before you make any moves on R&D, loans, or funding, get in touch with the team at Pro Tax Accountant. You can reach them on WhatsApp or give them a call on 07985 689912. Or just drop an email to info@protaxaccountant.co.uk. They'll give you the tailored advice your business needs. Thanks so much for joining me.